So we're at David Rathbun's farm in Stonington, Connecticut. 300-year-old farm.
I live in a farm that's been in my family since it was built 300 years ago. 1649 they came, 1650 I guess it was on there. Miners came, but it's always been in the miner family, the land. I inherited it from my grandfather in 1958. So I was 15. On my father's side, they were all descendants of the founders of the town, of Westerly and Stonington. My grandfather grew up in Mystic and Stonington, and he moved to Westerly around the 1890s to practice law. He never went to law school, passed the bar at 20. He read law. And then he practiced here for the rest of his life. And my father was born in Stonington in 1915. My mother was born in Indianapolis, and she really wasn't accepted at first because she wasn't of New England stock, but they found out later that her ancestors didn't come from New England, so she was accepted. My father had 3 maiden aunts, and they told her that they didn't really like her, but she produced Rathbuns, so they had to like her. She came here in 1941 to be children's librarian for 1 year. She'd gone to the University of Chicago and got a master's at Buffalo, and she was only going to stay 1 year. Well, she met my father. They met in October of 41. They got engaged in December of 41 and married in March of 42. Didn't take long then because the war came right along.
It was a quick romance.
Yeah, and I was born in January of 43 at Anderson Hospital. It didn't cost anything because Dr. Anderson at the time, if your father was in the service, he wasn't going to charge anyone. So I came in this world free.
What neighborhood did you grow up in?
Avondale.
I thought so. Pretty unique area at the time.
Avondale was unique, you know.
Avondale, one of the quintessential villages in Westerly, was once known as Lottery Village. Named after landowner Colonel Joseph Pendleton, held a lottery here in 1749 to sell off 124 house lots after the loss of his ship with an uninsured cargo of rum and molasses. Early inhabitants of Lotteryville were fishermen and farmers, but later included sailors and shipmasters, many engaged in whaling. In the late 1800s, a church, school, docks, and several dozen houses were built. The name of the village was changed to Avondale in 1893 when a post office was established here.
Sure, tell me a little bit about that.
You know, we didn't come to town that often. My mother didn't drive. If we wanted to come to town, my father used the car for business, so he was never around to take us places. And a lot of people didn't even have cars in Avondale. There was a lot of boys my age, and we played on the river. We all had boats, and we would be down to the river most of the time, either in boats or scavenging. And well, back then, you know, before all this GPS and all these fancy fiberglass boats, there's always good wrecks. Wood boats had, so we would scavenge and play in the river. And we built boats and went crabbing and fishing and played sandlot baseball, sandlot football. We did not come to Little League, or we didn't kind of leave Avondale. There's a group of us, about 10 or 12 boys. The only 2 left is John Hall and myself.